now at 6, a freight train derails, throwing the brakes on one of Portland's key crossings.
We've got to make sure that this bridge is safe, that there's been no damage in there.
Plus, finding a balance between free speech and student safety as protests spread on college campuses.
If they commit any crimes in the course of that, it could definitely result in student arrests.
And the mystery billion-dollar Powerball winners revealed.
How am I going to have time to spend all of this money?
The remarkable story of the winning trio and what they plan to do with their lottery luck. Thanks for joining us on this Monday. I'm David Mulco. We begin at 6 with an investigation into a freight train derailment on Portland Steel Bridge, which halted all traffic over the span this morning for hours. Let's get right to Thomas Schultz live at the Steel Bridge with the very latest. Thomas?
Yeah, well, David, the bridge reopened late this morning, even though that train was still on the tracks. Finally, they've been able to move the train off the tracks and down the railway just a bit in the past few minutes. And you can see the bridge is back completely open with no train now on the beams. And we spoke to commuters who said earlier today that they've never seen anything like this before. And the derailment, which paused cars, buses, trains, cyclists, and even boats from passing underneath the bridge, ended late this morning. Now, this all started when a Union Pacific train derailed along the east end of the bridge around 6 o'clock this morning. 5 cars in total derailed. One car was even leaning along one of the bridge's supporting beams, prompting the shutdown. Eventually, the bridge reopened just before 11 after ODOT and Union Pacific officials deemed it safe. And this is one of the hardest working bridges in the entire city, with all sorts of transportation using it constantly, though all of that movement grounded to a halt for hours, which was something some commuters had never seen before.
I see, trains going right where this train is right now, and never seen one off the side of the track like this.
And Portland Fire and Rescue officials say there was hazardous material on a car, though Union Pacific says the cars were empty. Regardless, workers for ODOT and Union Pacific both responded promptly to assess structural stability of the bridge, and Union Pacific says they're now investigating what happened in the lead up to this derailment. And the most fortunate thing here, of course, is that nobody was hurt, and commuters say they were also impressed with how quickly they were able to reopen the bridge, and of course, just in the past hour, to finally move the train off of that supporting beam. David?
Yeah, good to see those tracks clear. Thomas Schultz along the Willamette tonight. Thank you, Thomas. In your headlines this evening, the Multnomah County Sheriff's Office is investigating a homicide in a rural part of the county northwest of Portland. Around 1:15 this morning, deputies responded to a disturbance with a weapon call on Northwest 6th Avenue. It's just off Cornelius Pass Road in the Falkenberg community. They say they found a 44-year-old man with significant injuries to his neck. He died at the scene. Deputies say they arrested a 42-year-old man who was there. Investigators have not said anything about a weapon or a motive. We have new details this evening in a shooting at a Gresham apartment complex Sunday afternoon that hit several units and left one person hurt. A caller telling police that 2 males were shooting guns inside the Rockwood Village apartment complex. They said they heard as many as a dozen shots, though officers found nearly 40 shell casings when they arrived. The suspects had fled by then, and the search for them continues. 2 children taking a nap nearby were nearly hit. A person is in the hospital with life-threatening injuries after they were rescued from an apartment fire in the Pearl District. The fire started around 10 last night at Emmons Place at Northwest 8th and Irving. Firefighters say they found the victim unconscious in a smoke-filled 4th-floor unit. They also found a fire burning on a kitchen counter. Crews treated the person at the scene, then they were taken to the Oregon Burn Center. Investigators said the fire was accidental, but haven't said the exact cause. And there is concern this evening in one Vancouver neighborhood after someone left Easter eggs filled with tablets that look like candy. The eggs were found Sunday morning in front of some homes in the Arnada neighborhood. That's north of downtown. They had "For You" and "Open Me" written on them. Inside were clear packages with pressed powder tablets in the shape of a princess cartoon character. Police say they field tested the tablets for meth. Those tests were negative. If you spot eggs like this, the best thing to do is call Vancouver police. Matt?
Thanks so much, David. It has been a very blustery day around the Northwest. Look at Astoria right now. It looks rather beautiful, but the clouds have been coming and going, and the showers have been doing the same thing. Temperature there is 50 degrees, so it's a cool one, as you can see. And we're going to stay cool again tomorrow as another weather system like the one that came in today drops on down tomorrow. Now look at Timberline. Yeah, full-on winter up on the mountain. It's still snowing up there. There's been at least 16 inches of new snow since yesterday. So going through the weekend through today, at least 20 inches of new snow, probably more than that if I add it all up. So it's been a really, really good 3-4 days up on the mountain, adding to our April snowpack when we're usually losing snowpack this time of the year. So that's certainly good news for the water supply. Now, we look at the almanac. Temperatures way below average, high of only 56. That's nearly 10 degrees below average. The rainfall, in spite of the showers today, we're still way down for the month of April. This is our driest month since September and our driest April since 2021. When we set a record for the driest April ever in Portland. So again, under 2 inches of rain. That doesn't happen all that frequently in April, but looks like we're going to end up that way this time because even though we have showers in the forecast for tomorrow, it's probably not going to add up to over half an inch, get us over that 2-inch mark. So cool again tomorrow, more showers, scattered thunderstorms. We had some today, but May begins with sunshine and warmer weather. David, we'll have that in a bit.
Like the sound of that. Thank you, Matt. Happening now at 6, students at Portland State University have set up a pro-Palestinian encampment on campus to protest the war in Gaza. This is amidst similar demonstrations at more than a dozen college campuses nationwide, which in some spots have led to hundreds of student arrests. Let's bring in Blair Best in the newsroom. Blair, you were at the demonstration at PSU a short time ago. Walk us through what you saw.
Well, David, despite their public message, the demonstrators did not want to be seen on camera. A group of 3 people started heckling us and following us, yelling inappropriate things right next to our camera. They said they would continue to do so all night, which made it difficult for us to report live from anywhere nearby. So that's why we're back here in the station. Now, it's unclear if those people were students involved with the demonstration or potentially there to cause trouble. But this is day 4 of protesters camping out on the library steps. The university was allowing them to stay on campus after Portland police moved them off of city property last week. But given the encampment has grown and they have started vandalizing the library building, the school is now asking them to leave. The PSU demonstrators told us off camera that they have several demands. Their main one is calling for the university to cut ties with Boeing, including student internships, seen as Israel has reportedly bought military weapons from Boeing. And as a result, PSU announced it will pause accepting money from Boeing. Here's Ann Cudd, the university's president.
We are trying to, thread a fine line to allow and encourage debate, free speech, academic freedom, so that this, really emotional and difficult world issue can be debated.
I hope it doesn't go too crazy, but knowing Portland, it might.
What do I think about it? I think they got too much time on their hands, to be honest.
Now, these protests are happening across the state, including at the University of Oregon Monday morning. And at Reed College, student protesters interrupted classes earlier this month. The college says those students are now facing repercussions. Today, PSU told demonstrators to leave after reports of them harassing other students. And we also heard from a local organization that supports Jewish undergraduate students in Portland. And they said while students have the right to protest, they do not have the right to intimidate or threaten other Jewish students. Now, there will be a moderated forum in May to talk about Boeing's involvement with PSU. And the university library closed today as a result of these protests, but it will reopen Tuesday morning. David?
Thank you, Blair. Appreciate that update. Developing this evening, a couple has lost everything they own in a fire, but tonight they tell us they are thankful for their dog, who they say saved their lives. Joe Ranieri is here. Joe, this sparked on a boat, and it sounds like it all happened very quickly.
Within just minutes, David. This wasn't just their boat, though. It was also their home. This boat meant the world to Peter Sostilio, who had been living on the streets before he was able to save up enough money to purchase this sailboat here. Now, both he and his girlfriend are starting over again.
Everything we had, my wallet was on there with all my money in it. We got nothing.
An old 22-foot, 40-year-old sailboat might not mean much to some people, but for 59-year-old Peter Sostilio, it meant everything to him.
We spent everything we had on that boat, man. We took everything we saved and saved and saved.
He's been homeless for the last couple of years and finally was able to purchase this sailboat for nearly $4,000. Early Monday morning, he was asleep with his girlfriend when he heard his dog Mama barking.
Me and my lady friend were laying down, we're sleeping. It was probably about 4:30, 5 o'clock, and we heard my dog start barking, and we woke up, and the whole boat was in flames.
Sostilio and his girlfriend had to jump into the cold Willamette River to escape the fire.
We just barely got out. You know, it got me on the side of my face here. You know, burned me up pretty good.
He suffered burns to the side of his face, while his girlfriend Jennifer suffered burns to her leg. Life on this boat was supposed to be temporary.
It was, you know, kind of like a baby step. We was going to go from that, you know, from tent to this is what we talked about, and then from this to maybe like a motorhome, and the motorhome to an apartment. Just take baby steps and work our way up.
Even though the home he shared with his girlfriend is gone,
She saved my life. She saved that life, man.
his dog Mama is who he's thankful for.
Dog saved my life, man. Dog saved my life. Oh, everything, you know. We lost everything, man, but you know, that dog saved my life. I got everything there is right there, man. I have my dog made it, and I made it, my lady friend made it.
For saving his life and his girlfriend's.
Now, Portland Fire and Rescue are still trying to determine how the fire started, and as you could tell from that video, David, that sailboat is a total loss. Back to you.
Thank goodness they are both okay, though. Thank you, Joe.